Growing up in our house, we ate spaghetti every Thursday and Sunday and pork every New Year's Day. Now, I knew for a fact why we were having spaghetti on Thursdays and Sundays, because we were Italians on my dad's side. But I could never figure out why we were stuck eating pork on New Year's Day. I would have preferred spaghetti and meatballs. Pork New Year's Day every year. Well, it turns out to be that most of you probably all had pork on New Year's Day. And it's based upon the way a pig searches for food. Pigs are very, very interesting animals. Unlike every other four-legged animal on the face of the earth, all other four-legged animals, when they search for food, they use their front paws or their front hooves, and they dig for the food. They dig down deep looking for food. As they dig, the dirt flies under them. But a pig doesn't do that. A pig pushes forward, always moving in a forward direction, looking for food, eating its food, pushing forward. If you've never seen how a pig does that, you're going to see it now. Let's see how a pig looks for food. Now, clearly you can tell why a pig makes so much noise when it eats, because it's getting all that dirt stuck in its nostrils. But we eat pork on New Year's Day, a lot of people do, again, probably most of you, because of the idea of being forward thinking. A pig is always eating his food moving forward, not going backward, not stuck in one spot digging a big hole, but moving forward. Naturally, at the start of each new year, we want to be forward thinking. We always want to be forward moving forward, so we eat pork from a pig that always moves forward. But there's one thing in life that holds most people back, that keeps people from going forward on any day of the year, even on New Year's Day itself. And this is the thing right here. This is a culprit, holds people back. The inability to let go. To let go of past hurt or hurts. And probably for most it's plural rather than singular. It is so difficult for people just to let go. Someone did something wrong to you, you want to start the new year, but you brought what happened to you 5, 10, 20 years ago into the new year. That's holding you back. There was a fellow by the name of Joachim. Joachim lived in a time when people liked to throw stones, not figuratively, but literally. And Joachim carried a sack. And every time someone threw a stone at Joachim, if the sack hit Joachim, he would stop, bend down and pick up the stone, look at the person who threw the stone at him, write their name down on the stone so he would not forget who threw that stone, open up his sack and throw the stone inside of the sack. Now, Joachim did this day after day after day, getting hit by a stone, writing the other person's name, and then putting the stone in a sack. It got to be that sack was now getting full of stones, and every morning when Joachim got up and would leave his home, before he'd walk out of his house, he'd pick up his sack of heavy stone. He'd throw the sack over his shoulder, and he'd go into the start of the day. That sack was getting so heavy, Joachim was no longer able to stand straight and look forward. He was bent down, looking down at the ground, the sack of stones across his back shoulder. It was getting heavy, extremely heavy. But it kept getting hit by stones and writing down the person's name and putting them in a sack. Finally, after carrying that heavy sack of stones literally for years with people's names on each stone, Joachim had an epiphany, the feast that we celebrate today. Joachim realized this is ridiculous. Why am I carrying all these stones with all the names of the people who throw the stones at me? So he decided to get rid of the stones. He walked to the edge of a hillside, and he dropped his sack, and he opened up the sack itself and spilled out all the stones so they rolled down the hill. Now he picked up the empty sack and it didn't weigh anything. He stuck it inside of his pocket. He stood erect and tall and straight and looking forward. He thought to himself, this feels so good to be free, to let go of all that past hurt. As he's walking back home, all of a sudden someone throws a stone at Joachim. Joachim stops. He picks up the stone. He writes down the name of the person who threw the stone at him. He reached in his pocket and took out the sack and opened the sack and threw the stone inside of the sack. And he was just about ready to throw the sack over his shoulder. He thought to himself, no, I don't want to start this all over again. So he took the stone out of the sack and threw it away and got the sack and threw it into a receptacle. He thought to himself, no, this doesn't make any sense. I have to be able to let go. If I want to move forward in my life, I can't be held back by what happened yesterday or last year or 5 years ago. I got to learn how to let go of past hurt or hurts. We're starting the 5th day of the year 2020. Optometrists say that 2020 is perfect eye vision. If you want to have good vision this year, 2020, you want to make sure that you have vision to understand what you need to do in your life. To make sure how important it is to get rid of past hurt. Don't carry past hurt into the new year of 2020. If you ate pork on New Year's Day, that's nice. Because you want to move forward in life like a pig when he eats his food. That's symbolic. But the pig is unfettered. He's not weighed down by past hurt. The pig isn't thinking about what happened yesterday or the year before. He's just always pushing forward, looking for something else to eat. Do the same. Get rid of past hurts. Have good vision 2020. Realize what's important. If I want to enjoy this year, how do I enjoy this year? How do I move forward? How do I be a forward thinker in my life? By learning how to let go. Because most people suffer from the inability to let go. You got anger inside of you. You're hurt. Someone hurt you deeply. And you say to yourself, I can't let it go. But the question is, what good is it doing you by not being able to let go? The answer is, it doesn't do me any good at all. All it does is make this hurt continue. The hurt that they caused me some years ago, I give them too much of a credit by allowing that hurt to fester day after day after day. Let it go. Drop the stones. Open up your sack and get rid of it. If you had pork, that's great. If you had spaghetti on New Year's Day, that's even better. But learn how in your life, in this year 2020, learn how to let go. Let go of past hurt or past hurts.